Can you talk to me about the nuts and bolts of like how you call a game? Because even if you're a broadcaster and you're a good broadcaster, not everybody can do that play-by-play thing. That's a special skill. How did you develop your style, and did you feel yourself getting better as you called more and more games?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good question, Ron. I mean, to be honest, I knew that I had the best mentor around in Joe Tate. I didn't know Joe at the time, but I just knew how the game was supposed to be called because Joe was a top flight play-by-play guy. So I'm thinking I'm going to be in the NBA someday and be like Joe. So the biggest thing that anybody used to tell me, whether it was Dave Pash, whether it was Dave Jagler, who's now at the Washington Nationals, any of the guys that were older than me at AER, when you needed to get cleared for football, basketball, lacrosse, what they wanted to hear was time and score first and foremost. You could have all these great calls, and you could, nowadays the kids all want to sound like Gus Johnson and some of these other slappies. But to be quite honest, when you're doing the radio, time and score, where is the ball or puck or whatever it is, and what's going on? You mentioned Ken Cal before. I don't think people in Detroit realize how good Ken Cal is. Ken Cal's freaking great because he gives the time and score. You're in your car, you just get in on a Saturday night, you took your wife to dinner, the Wings game's on the ticket, and it's 9:20 at night. Yeah, you could go to your phone now and look up the score, but you shouldn't have to. The play-by-play guy that's in that you're listening to in the car should be telling you the time and score. 3 minutes left, third period, Wings up 2-1 on Winnipeg. And too many guys, and I don't want to name names and get myself in trouble. I probably will end up getting myself in trouble at some point, but there's too many guys in this market where you tune on the game and it's 5 minutes in and you don't know the score? Like, come on. Yeah. Like, that kills me. Like, time and score. I used to tell my son broadcasted in high school, and I used to tell him all the time, Jace, time and score. I would text it to him. He's like, Dad, I said it. I said, say it more. Joe Tate, no matter what, exciting play for the Cavs, Doherty, Nance, Mark Price, whatever it was, those legendary series with Michael Jordan, you always knew time and score. So that was big for me, on top of having a little bit of a personality and just description. I never wanted to be one of those people that said, well, he's more of a TV guy calling it on radio. No, radio guys, to me, there's a gift. Like, listen to when George Blaha did radio years back, same thing. George had the flow. George had the cool catchphrases, off the high glass and in, but George gave you the time and score. And
2 and 20, like 2 and 20.
You were there.
You know what I mean? The way he would even say the time was special. You felt like, Ron, that you
were actually there. So that was the biggest thing for me, was description and then having some panache and a little bit of an entertainment value as well.